Alright guys, finally, Laos is reopening its borders 1st of January 2022. In this video, I'm going to let you know what you need to do to be able to gain entry. Okay. Finally some good news on the tail end of 2021. Laos reopening in just a matter of a little under 2 weeks now. 2 weeks. I've known for a little while there's been rumours that there was plans in place to open up, but I did not want to do a video until I had more accurate information and a lot more details on what you need to do to come in. There's no point in me just getting on here telling you it's open up on the 1st, come over, have a beer with me. We always knew there'd be a little bit more to it than just booking a flight and flying straight in like we used to be able to. So there was a great article in the Laotian Times. I posted it on my Now in Laos Facebook page, and the Laotian Times are very reliable on printing accurate information. So get away, bloody dogs, not soy dogs, they're big bloody golden retriever things, biggest retrievers I've ever seen. Anyway, okay guys, I'm going to be reading from that, the Laotian Times, and putting it in points what you actually need to do to get in here, whether it is the information, whether it is the good news some of you are after. Maybe not so much, but what we do know is it will be opening up in 3 phases. The first 3 months, 1st of January to the 30th of March. Phase 2 will be from the 1st of April to the 30th of June, and then phase 3 from the 1st of July onwards into 2022. There are a few things that they have not addressed. They haven't given us much information, if any information at all. I'll talk about those and how I feel about it towards the end of the video. But I will say straight off the bat, it's something. It's better than endless lockdowns, you know, so it is a step in the right direction. Okay guys, for those who have not liked the page, the Now in Laos Facebook page, I'm always posting news articles as soon as I see them on my Now in Laos Facebook page. For those who don't want to wait until I upload a video, you know, this is news from five days ago. So to stay up to date, you can like my page, or even the Laotian Times. I'm going to put the Laotian Times link in the description box below, so you can actually read over this yourself. I'm just going to be giving you not the whole article, but a lot of the more important things you need to know to gain entry. Okay, Laos announces travel conditions for 2022 reopening. And as I said, it's opening up in 3 phases. So, according to the ministry, tourists from an initial list of countries will be allowed to travel to the country during the first phase. The list of countries include China, Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, South Korea, Japan, France, United Kingdom, Germany, the Netherlands, Spain, Italy, United States, Canada and Australia. Tourism will be restricted to group tours at first, with tours arranged by authorised tour operators under the Lao Travel Green Zone plan. Do remember, this is phase 1. It isn't for all the phases. This is the initial opening up, and restricted to just group tours at first. We'll talk about that a little later. Tourists will be required to have been fully vaccinated against COVID-19 no less than 14 days prior to arrival. Coming into Laos, if you've only just been vaccinated within 2 weeks of arrival, they're not going to accept you. You have to be vaccinated longer than 2 weeks. Other conditions include a health insurance policy with coverage no less than $50,000 and a negative RT-PCR test taken within the last 72 hours. Arrivals will be tested for COVID-19 and placed in a 24-hour quarantine in their hotel until a negative result is found. It does not say what happens if a positive result is found. Tourists will be required to download and register via the Lao KYC and the Laos Stay Safe mobile applications prior to arriving in the country, as well as uploading their relevant vaccination certification and COVID-19 test results. Okay, the travel zones and travel trails. Under the reopening scheme, tourists will be authorised to travel within two zones, namely green travel zones and green travel trails. Green travel zones include provinces that have at least a 70% vaccination rate among the eligible adult population, while green travel trails have not yet achieved this level of vaccine coverage. During Phase 1, tourists may visit Vientiane capital, Luang Prabang province and Vang Vieng district in the Vientiane province. Meanwhile, 5 provinces will be authorised for green travel trails, including Udomsai, Sayaburi, Sengkuang, Kongmany and Champasak. During Phase 2, the green travel zones will consist of 9 provinces: Vientiane capital, Vientiane province, Luang Prabang, Udomsai, Sayaburi, Sengkuang, Kongmany, Savannakhet and Champasak. 4 provinces will be authorised for green travel trails during Phase 2, including Hoi Sai district in Bokau province, Luang Namtar province, Sekong province and Salavan province. And then it just goes on to state what the tour companies need to achieve here to be able to register and accept you guys. According to the Ministry of Health, tourism related establishments such as tourism sites, hotels, restaurants in the zones must ensure that at least 95% of their staff are fully vaccinated. All tour guides and drivers must be completely vaccinated. At least 95% of the population within the travel zones must be fully vaccinated. So there is a lot of hoops to jump through, and what really stands out is the government is making sure they're taking the best course of action to keep the population here safe, whether it be Lao nationals or foreign residents living here or stuck here, making sure that they are safe when introducing new travellers into the country. The Ministry of Health has stated that it will improve the quality of quarantine centres, treatment centres and field hospitals in the event of hospitalisation or seriously symptomatic cases for tourists. Asymptomatic and mild cases will be allowed to be quarantined and treated at their designated hotel. Okay. Right, the international borders. During Phase 1, tourists will be able to enter Laos by air via Wat International Airport and by land across the first Lao-Thai Friendship Bridge in Vientiane. That is Phase 1. You're coming in to Vientiane, whether it be by air into the international airport here at Wat or across the Friendship Bridge from Nong Khai, Thailand into Vientiane. That is the only way in during Phase 1. More borders will reopen in Phase 2, including Luang Prabang International Airport, Botan Bohan border with China and Luang Namtar province, the 3rd Friendship Bridge in Ta Kek, the 2nd Friendship Bridge in Savannakhet, the Chong Mek border in Pak Se, the Lao Bao border with Vietnam in Savannakhet province, and Nam Pao border, Laxao with Vietnam and Bolokham Sai province. Okay, the rest of it is just more stuff about the establishments in Laos, what they actually need to do. If you want to read the whole article, there's a link in the description below. But most of what you guys really need to know is what I've already read out to you. Right, down at the bottom of the article it does say returnees and foreign nationals in Laos. The ministry has not yet provided information on requirements for Lao nationals or foreign residents returning to Laos, or if the issuance of visitor visas would resume. And it's that very last sentence, last line, that I did want to discuss among a couple of other things. There is no information on the type of visa required to get in here and how you would gain access to that. I'm guessing that you'd have to select a tour company first where you want to go, and they'd be looking after the visas and that for you. Says nothing about travel visas on arrival in there. I'm sure over the coming weeks, and when it does open up, there will be a lot more news about it, and I'll keep you guys updated then with if anything does change to this. You know, like I said, it is news we've been waiting for it to open, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of you for a lot of you it's not the news you were hoping for, you know. But it is a step in the right direction. You know, it is moving forward, and like I said earlier, it's better than continual lockdowns. You know, we've slowly got to open this country up the safest way we can, and just keep moving forward and try to live with this. Number two that stuck out to me was the returning foreign residents, and that is one of the things stopping me from returning home. Plus, with the bullshit prices of airlines that airlines are charging at the moment, there's still no clear pathway for how foreign residents can come back in. Like it said in the article, you know, for the first 3 months, phase one, it is only open for group tours. So that's not sort of, there's a lot of family members stuck overseas wanting to come back, or not particularly stuck, but want, you know, it's been a couple of years since they've seen Hales family here and they want to come visit. Then they don't particularly want to come and do a guided tour with a group of people. So that's something we're going to have to see how that plays out, whether they adjust those rules or not. You know, you don't want to be paying for a group tour just to come here and hang out with your relatives in Vientiane. You know, you want to be able to come here for a specific reason. You know, come and visit your family. You could be just in the yard on their farm for those 2-3 weeks, whatever you're here. You're not traveling the country. So we'll see how that goes anyway. And another thing was, if the border is opening, does that mean Lao nationals, foreigners living in Laos, can duck over to Nong Khai, Udon Thani in Thailand, and just for a day shopping trip like we used to? How do we come back in? It's not addressing those sort of things. So it is mainly just targeting group tours at the moment. Group tours. So it's going to please a small amount of people, but I think it's going to there's going to be a bigger amount of people disappointed. You may have to wait until phase two on what is opening up, you know, and as things start to relax. So I knew there would be rules, regulations and things like that in place. Somebody actually commented that it reminds them of the Sandbox project in Thailand. It does, you know, with just these one area that you're allowed to travel around in. So but I know through the videos I do on that, there's a lot of people on the outside just wanting to come back in or come and visit family and do their own thing, you know, and not particularly do a tour. But I'm not here to criticise it. The government's done a great thing by, you know, deciding to open up, and like I said, they're putting the residents here in Laos, their safety first, by having all these stipulations in place and giving us more time to vaccinate the whole country. You know, it was brought to my attention the other day by one of the subscribers. I think it was Chris. He said that now to travel the train you need to have your booster shot. You know, I haven't read anything about that, but it does make sense with all these new people coming into the green travel zone, which the train does ride along. The government wants us to be as vaccinated as possible, I guess. Sun's bloody bright. Sun is bright. So that is it, guys. That is the news. That is what you have to do. I'm just going to moving. One other thing, guys, I did want to touch on was I'll just make sure it's not in here, whether you need a certificate of entry to come in. Did it actually say that? No, it does not say anything about a certificate of entry in here. Maybe that is part of booking with a tour company, and they take care of those things, because I do know if you were entering Laos, you needed a certificate of entry, and the processing time period for that was between 4 and 6 weeks. So, and if that was still the case, 4 to 6 weeks to process a certificate of entry, there's a lot of people wouldn't be looking at getting inside of Laos under the 20th of mid January now, but it doesn't state it there. Everything that is required of you, they've obviously put in this article, and I guess the tour company looks after the visas and things like that, because it does not give us any information on how you go about getting that. Just to readdress those, it is fully vaccinated, no less than 14 days prior to arrival. You need your insurance policy, a negative RT-PCR test within the last 72 hours, and you'll stay in quarantine for 24 hours until you get a negative result is found. And then downloading some apps and your certification COVID-19 results. Yeah. Sounds like a lot to do, but just like the sandbox in Thailand and that, people did take up the offer, you know, and I keep saying it, it's a step in the right direction, guys. It is. So that's it. If there's anything in particular you want to know that I have not addressed or is not in that article, let us know in the comments below, because as this pans out in the first few weeks of it opening, they may come across things that they have to adjust, and some of the rules may change. So as things do, I'll try to include them in a video or do a standalone video, but it'd be good to know what you guys what you think of these. You know, I've got a fair idea what a few of you would think. You know, if I was a traveller wanting to come in here and travel like I do, it would not suit me, but it may suit some people. But yeah, just let us know what the type of information you're wanting to know that this did not address. It'd be good to be able to follow it up for you guys. Anyway, 2 days to Christmas. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you all. Take care.